names, and I see some familiar faces as well. Emmanuel, I know we've spoken before. Good to see you here. Hi, Cynthia, Divine. Hi, Tabitha. Hi, Munji. Hi, Dawari. It's so amazing to meet all you lovely, lovely people. And I say a very big thank you for staying up. I know it's really late right now in most of our time zones, right? And you're still here. And there's a reason why you're here. And I hope that we are able to fulfill that reason and, of course, give you a very great time out today. All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please let me know in the chat if you can see me and you can hear me loud and clear. And as you do that, please be sure to pull in as many people as you can find around you into this live call today. Because, I mean, much like you, we all could have just gone to sleep, right, at this time. So if you're here, be sure that there's somebody else here with you. Maybe send links to a friend, send it to your neighbor, send it to people that you just want to see grow in everything that you do, right? So we can get way more people in here. All right. Okay, so today we have a very interesting topic to take a look at, and that has to do with building wealth, right? Global wealth for that matter, global wealth in what we do, right? And as I like to do, I like to go around the room in presentations and try to just see where everybody's at, right? So if you don't mind, kindly share what you do right now in the comments so we can get to meet each other, right? I'm here today. I'm talking about what how to go global again, right? How global strategies for your business, taking your business global, how you can build wealth in foreign currency, how you can build global wealth, right? But I'd love to meet you as well. That's my job here today, okay? But I want to know what's important to you. How would this matter to you? What do you do so that I can understand that, okay, this is how this topic would matter to this person, right? So let's go around. Let's meet some people. Let's say hellos in the comments. Let's see what we do, right? And of course, I'm gonna be able to piggyback from there to make this even more relatable. But one thing that I'm gonna say while we do that is there still is so much opportunity out there. And when I say so much opportunity out there, I mean so much global opportunity out there. Now, if you've not had a share of it yet, it doesn't change the fact, it doesn't negate the fact that there still is so much opportunity out there. It just is what it is, right? There is so much opportunity out there. Whether you've taken a share of it, you've taken your own piece of it yet or not, like I said, there is in abundance out there. So what does that mean? That means to whatever degree of wealth you are trying to create at any level, there is that possibility for you. There's this organization that probably puts together a list of wealthy people by their net worth, and they do this to the hundreds of billions of dollars. Now, the truth is, you don't exactly need hundreds of billions of dollars to be considered wealthy. And for some people, for instance, at the very lowest level, so many things are still wealth to them, right? And wealth is not just capped financially. However, I'd like to focus my session today on more about financial wealth, right, and less about the other components. Okay, so when it comes to financial wealth, there's people today that $1,000 is a whole lot for, and it's probably all that they can reach and probably all they can have access to. That's wealth to them at a particular stage, right? So don't make the mistake of thinking that, oh, you need to have $1 billion before you build something sustainable. If you even think about it and the possibility of it, you would find that even $1 million is a huge spot. It's not attainable by everybody in their entire lifetime. So when it comes to building wealth, especially financial, it's very personal. You cannot look to what the next person is doing and say that is exactly how you want yours to play out. The chances that you have the same results or similar results are very slim. You might be doing the same things, but you still would find that you have varying results. So you want to create a personal plan for yourself, especially one that tilts towards the balance of reality and ambition. If you've never ever been able to generate $1 million for other people before, or even $100,000 for other people, maybe for customers or clients or something, what makes you think you can just say 2024 is my year of getting $100,000 for myself? What are the odds? So when it comes to building wealth for yourself in a given year, you want to make sure that there's a very fine balance of what? Ambition, right? And reality. It might not be what people preach, but trust me, I don't care how many um, beliefs or words of affirmation you speak every morning. You are the chance that you're going to print $100,000 um, net worth financially for yourself in a given year when you have never ever generated that for anybody, whether it's for a company you work for, whether it's for a string of clients, is very slim. So you can confess it all you want, you can vision board it all you want, but if you do not want to frustrate yourself, you want to make sure that there is a very fine balance of reality and ambition. How do you have a balance of reality and ambition? Look at data, study history. In my industry, in what I do, with what I sell, is there anybody that sells this particular thing this particular way and makes $1 million in my environment, or makes $10,000 in revenue, or makes $1,000 a month, or makes $500 a month, right? Is there anybody? Now, if there's nobody and you think that you are going to be the first, it's fair to think that way. Do not forget that there is also the balance where you have to think of why is nobody succeeding in this environment selling this particular thing this particular way? Or is it just because we're all waiting for me to come and be the shining light and open the way? Maybe you might come along and figure something out that nobody else has figured out. Maybe. Like I said, there has to be a fine, very fine balance between reality and ambition. It is no respecter, when it comes to wealth building, it is no respecter of how many words of affirmation you speak to yourself. Be it physical words of affirmation, spiritual words, telling yourself, oh, I have a word, it's in the Bible somewhere, this is my verse for the year, and this verse means that is no respecter of any of those things in the world system. Why? It must still be subject, wealth is subject to principles, not emotions. If it were subject to emotions, trust me, I know how many times I've heard the loudest amen is going to become a billionaire tomorrow morning. And I screamed the loudest amen actually, because I checked. Last I checked, I am yet to build the financial wealth that shows 1 billion in actual present day record. So what does that tell me? Right? So, like I said, when it comes to wealth building in the modern world, it must be subject to principle. It can't just be because you scream the loudest in church or you read the most. Read all the books by all the wealthy people, all the billionaires you want. That's your business. It does not transfer the credibility. It doesn't transfer the capital. It doesn't transfer the network. It doesn't transfer the opportunities. It doesn't transfer the deal flow. It does not transfer the structure. It doesn't. So go ahead, humor me. Read all the books by. Oh, I just read Elon Musk autobiography. Cool, congratulations. But make no mistake, you're not becoming a billionaire because you read his autobiography. Get knowledge, yes, but do not forget when it comes to wealth building, it must be subject to principles. And what are those principles? At least some of them. Well, you want to be, especially when it comes to financial wealth. Now, remember, we're really fine tuning this to financial wealth. I like to give context. Somebody will not come and say, but money is not everything. I don't know about that one. We'll carry that mentality elsewhere. Maybe another session, they're talking about money is not everything. That's their business. But for this particular one, money is a whole lot. When was the last time you went to buy a washing machine to stop stressing with regular detergent and they told you that money, since money is not everything, come and take free washing machine? When you be saying na lotto you dey play. So money is something, right? So that's why I want to focus on financial wealth building in the modern world today. And we're going into 2024. This is something that would help us in any way, right? Because I know that we have projects at heart and they would need money to pull off. Please ask Gift what it took to pull this off if there was no singular expense. And he'll tell you that at the very least, the platform that enables this beautiful stream that you're seeing here, that is making you want to share this out and get more people inside and it's making you stay glued to these amazing people, cost money. So as much as he wanted mastery verse to be a thing, if he was not willing to put in some level of financial commitment, then we don't get here today. So if you believe money is something and you want a heck ton of it to do what you need to do in 2024 financially, financial wealth building, then we must understand certain principles that command the forces of financial wealth building. What did we start with? We said to get started in that game, we must initiate a fine balance of ambition and reality. Now, the reason why you don't want ambition alone is because for many people, we come from um, scarcity mindsets and scarcity, environments, and so it triggers this notion of there's just that one hit. There's that one thing that you just do, and all the billions are unlocked instantly. There's just that one thing. It's like the guys who are in the creative industry and like just that one song. If I just sing that one song, I could just blow, I could just make them. So you're looking for just that one thing that once you just do it, all of your hidden treasures and hidden wealth, I mean, is released onto you. Well, that's not a realistic enough principle to go by. Okay. And the truth is, it's it's often fair to think that you will be the exception to the rule. Yeah, you know, um, but not everybody gets to be that exception to the rule. Okay, so let's take some more principles. What then can you do to creatively build financial wealth in 2024, whether for your business, for yourself, whatever it is? First thing, or one of the things, right, is creating high level value. Now, what is high level value? Um, the less time you spend to create an earning, the more you can earn. The less time you spend to create an earning, the more you can earn. What am I alluding to? The less time you get to actually do the work yourself in whatever you do, the more chances of creating financial wealth you have. I give you a very good example. Um, in in 2021, late 2021, um, I co-founded a company, um, and that company today has a team of maybe 15 people, um, that, plus myself, of course, that works within it. However, I do not, I no longer have to do um, the heavy lifting, right? The actual work delivery for the company to function. So that means I get to have more time on my hands to create or attract new opportunities. So when you have created your marketing agency and you've refused to consciously create a path that enables you grow beyond doing the work yourself or alone, and you feel like, okay, only me go chop, it's just me, so I'll find the client, only me I'll run the campaigns, only me I'll manage our social media, only me I'll do everything so I can keep all the money. mm, you're not ready for scale yet. You're not ready for building more wealth, because to build more financial wealth you need more time. And so the reason why there's more people in my team now is because it frees up more time for me to keep attracting more in. And so for every one that I attract in, I know that I don't have to bother about how they get served or how they get serviced. I know they will get serviced. I just have to keep getting more. And so I have one simple job: just keep getting more and more and more and more and more. Imagine if you could just be focused on client or customer acquisition for your business and not actually being the one to deliver the work at the end of the day. Again, remember, find balance, reality, and ambition. Are you at that point yet? Probably not. But can you get there? 100% yes. But you have to plan for it. So you have to now do away with one man mentality, right? Now, this doesn't mean you cannot pull most things off by yourself using a software, even, right? Nobody's saying you need to get an expanded team of 15 people. No. What I'm saying is you need to find points of leverage in your business. So stop using WhatsApp for certain things when you can create a CRM flow, right? Okay. So, in essence, you want to create more time for yourself. You do not want to be sucked into doing all of the work yourself, right? You want to create more time for yourself to be able to function properly, right? So the more time you have on your hands, the more you are able to invest that in opportunities that can earn you more. So your goal, your entire goal, is to keep figuring out a way to spend less and less time on the actual work and more time on top line opportunities, right? Acquisition opportunities. So the less and less time you spend actually delivering the work, the more and more time you have to keep filling up the top. The top is new money, the top is new customers, the top is new clientele. That's the top, right? So the less time you have doing the actual work, the more time you would have to keep filling the top, right? So that's one mental blocker that you need to get right. Okay. Why did I start with that? I started with that so that you can understand how acquisition works, right? So that you don't get caught up working within your business, that you forget to work on your business as well. So you're just working in the business, doing everything, and forgetting to work on the business, putting structure to it that allows you to build more into it. Okay. And when you see that you're doing so much in the business yourself, it means you're doing a whole lot that you shouldn't even be doing. Why are you starting in an agency and you're trying to offer a full Rolodex of services instead of just picking one particular aspect, first of all, to execute on and keep going from there, especially when it is that it's just you, right? So the structure towards your wealth building vehicles has to be right. That's the essence of what I'm saying. The structure towards that thing that you're doing that can produce financial wealth for you has to be right. And sometimes you are in the wrong vehicle. Sometimes you've not figured out what exactly are the high value services or products you can create based off of your skills. Just because you know how to do digital marketing does not mean you need to or must start a digital marketing agency. Think about that. Just because you know how to do a particular thing doesn't mean you must start what everybody else starts. So check the vehicle, right? Is it structured in such a way that as you grow, it's allowing you or affording you more time to work on grow on its growth, right? And how much effort, how much time are you actually putting into its growth? So you say you want international customers for your business. Have you been keeping aside a particular amount of marketing capital that you would then leverage to push your brand internationally, maybe by the second quarter of next year? So, is there a plan to save up 50,000 naira every month, for instance, so that once you are in April, there's 200,000 naira to start running advertising to attract some new customers from Ireland from your brand for your brand? Or do you want to wait till April to miraculously start doing something? See my point? So the structure in the vehicle that you're currently in, right, is very, very important. So look at what you do and look at the the goal that you have. The people who are attaining that goal that you have, that is balanced out. It's ambitious, but it's realistic at the same time. Once it's balanced out, go look at who's doing this and how are they doing it. How is their own vehicle structure, right? If they're doing it through a career that offers them a very good package in terms of salaries and compensations and stock options and whatnot, and you want that as well, fine. What then are some of the qualifications that they have, and how do they position for the opportunities that come to them or that they get in that industry? I'm very big on getting the actual vehicle right because it determines a whole lot. What are the chances that you can generate, um, say, 100 million naira a year with a provision store business? One provision store business. Now, even if you do 100 million a year, guess what? The margins are so tiny that you could barely have anything tangible left over. So why do you think your next door neighbor, who literally started a kiosk or a shop because the other next door neighbor started the same thing, has not blown? Since they thought that there are some people coming every day giving this person 5,000, 1,000, 3,000, blah 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 blah, and they thought that was how to make money, and they started the same kind of business and they've not scaled it. So sometimes you are in the wrong vehicle. There's certain businesses that are just really hard to profit off of, right? And really hard to scale. Same thing with career, like when I say career, I mean, regular 9 to 5s. There's certain kinds that just don't have a very good upward trajectory. And so it's perfectly okay to switch. We don't live in the perfect world where you must do what you studied in school, for instance, right? Just so you can fulfill all righteousness. There's so much abundance out there. You could literally just take a certification that takes your average salary earning from where it was to 4 times more in 2 years, or in a year and a half, or even in a year. But it would take the conscious effort to ask yourself, saying, hey, what is our financial goal for next year that is actually ambitious but realistic? Who's doing it? How are they doing it? How is their own vehicle structured? If you're not asking that question, it means you don't want to know. And frankly, it means you don't care about getting to your goal, right? Because when you begin to ask those questions, then you begin to get, would I say, dissatisfied now? Yes. You begin to get very uncomfortable with where you are at, and you would want to push for a whole lot more, right? You want to push for better, okay? You would want to push for so much better, and you know that it's so much better is possible. But it starts from fixing the vehicle. Is it, can you leverage that vehicle to get to the goal that you have, right? And then what can you add? How can you pimp the vehicle up even more? So maybe right now you're selling a $40,000 car, right? And you're really, really struggling to sell it. But at some point you want to start selling $1 million cars. Well, there's certain ways that $1 million cars have to look. There's certain features that $1 million cars need to have. And so if you want your job to pay you a certain way, you want your business to earn you a certain thing, then there's certain ways you need to serve the customer to attract that. There's certain brand positioning you need to have to attract certain other kinds as well. Okay? And it's progressive. So if you're starting something new in the new year, for instance, don't expect it to just boom from 0 to 100 real quick, just like that. If that happens, great. But remember, you want to plan critically, because if anybody's going to build a house, you need to count the cost. And so if you're going to build a financially wealthy house in 2024, you need to count the cost. Look at the vehicle that you're going to do that through. Is it possible? What are the odds? What do I need to make sure that, okay, I can get here? So it's perfectly okay to readjust your goal so that it can be a stepping stone for even greater. I remember life is long. Why are you really trying to do everything and achieve everything possible, humanly possible in 2024? It's okay to say to yourself in 2023 that this particular thing or this particular achievement, you'll be so glad to get it done by 2026 or 2025. If it so happens that you get it done in 2024, then great. Hallelujah. Right? But if you can be honest enough to tell yourself, okay, this is how I'm going to play my cards to set me up for to be able to achieve this in 2026 or 2025, then great. But you put in the work as though you want to achieve that next year. Okay? The reason why I really push for a balance of ambition and reality is so that you don't get delusional. Remember my analogy in the beginning. You've never made $1 million for other people before. You just think this new year you're going to go from 100,000 naira a year, or $1 million a year, or 10 million naira a year to $1 million the next year. How about now? You day wine? What are the odds? How practical is that? My God can do it. Nobody's doubting your God. But how come it is only next year that he can do it? He did not do it all these other years. I mean, he did not want $1 million all these other years. Right? So don't outsource your ability to design your lifestyle to God, right? Some higher power that you have no control over. Design, you have the ability to design or create a life that you want, but you have to be meticulous about it. Everything was not created the same day. Day one, he created this. Day two, he created that. Day three, he created this. Day four, he created that. Why? This is a process. I mean, at the end of the day, he wanted all of these things created the same day. Sorry, he wanted all of these things to exist. But how come he didn't create all of them the same day? This festive period, a lot of people are going to be dining on some very amazing meals, courtesy of some very special animals. Bless them. But guess what? God knew that those animals had to exist so that we can feast, right? But they were not all made the same day. But every single thing that was made in that 7 day period, he wanted them to exist. And he even wanted humans to have dominion over them. But they were not created the same day, as much as he wanted them to exist. So, as much as you want this particular goal, is it really is it really the best that you try to have it all in 1 year? Or do you rather break that down and say, okay, actually, the truth is, if I can get to a quarter of this, it would be so fantastic because then I would have learned so much and it would have been a stepping stone to go 3 times more the very next year. And so instead of saying, I want to go from 1 million naira a year to 100 million naira a year the very next year, maybe it's more practical to say, I think I want to go from 1 to 7. Yeah, I think I want to go from 1 to 7. And then if I don't get to 7 and I get to at least 5, then I did something right. And I've learned how I've gone 5 times more. And there's every chance that from 5, I could get to 20 or 15. And then guess what? The 7 that you thought was possible in the first year, in 2 years, you've done double of that by just being very practical with it and not trying to overwhelm yourself and say, hey, I must do it. I must go from 1 to 100 the next year just because 100 sounds so nice. You must pace yourself in financial wealth building. You are not in a competition with anybody, especially when they're not feeding you. Why would you care? Like, be inspired by people, right? But it is absolutely bonkers to think that what I care about financially is the same thing that you care about. And you want to model the very, so if I say, I want 10 million, you too, it must be 10 million. This person cannot have 10 million, and me, I have 8. That's not goal setting. That's just envy. And it's such a waste of time. So it's such a waste of time. So, how do you really go from point A to point B? Be very practical with your goals, right? Instead of trying to go from 1 million a year to 100 million, maybe try going from 1 to 7, and then you probably would land at 5. And then from 5, the very next year, you could get to 20 because now you've learned the principles of going 5x in a year. That's the real part you need to not miss. It's not about going from 1 to 100, but the principle in going from 1 to 5 would help you go from 5 to 25 the very next year. Right? That's how you think about it. Because the journey in getting to your goal has lessons you need to learn that are transferable to your next levels and to your next generations. Because wealth building is subject to principles. So I shared a very good example. I said, be practical, balance out your ambition and reality. Then check your vehicle. Is it structured to achieve your goals? Is it structured to be able to achieve what you set out? Right? Are you creating more time for yourself to work on the business and not in the business? Are you creating more time? Are you spending less time? Net, are you running it in a way where you spend less time? Right? And in terms of career, how do you spend less time? The higher up you go to management level, the better, the less time you spend doing work. You think managers do any work? Well, they do strategic work And that's even, better. That's why they get to earn way more, right? So how do you go from being the lowest at the ladder? And it's okay to start somewhere. Okay, how do you go from being the lowest at the ladder to keep climbing up, right? Okay, now the final principle I'm going to share for tonight, because of time, just so that we can really hone in what we're hearing right now, is execution. It's another very key principle. Execution. You've got a goal, right? You've got a vehicle that's going to help you get there. Do not overthink it. You have to be very rugged with it. Just get things done. You do not need to attend vision boarding parties by 5 of your mentors before you validate that your goal is valid. Just put the work in, execute, start marketing, start talking about what you do even more in the right places. You don't need to read all the books in the world. You don't need to say, I finished this book cover to cover. Where's the award for cover to cover reading? Where's the trophy? Why don't you find the aspects in that book that apply to what you need per that time and get things moving? Jump on opportunities super fast. Do not overthink things. Just launch, just roll it out. You are the one thinking and looking for the most perfect, uh, the people who are going to be paying you to, and which of course is the way that you're going to build your own wealth, do not need the most perfect a lot of the times. They just want functionality. There's a stage where you are and what you're selling just needs to be functional. What you're offering just needs to be functional, and you polish it up as you go. It's no excuse, but you polish it up as you go. But don't slack and say, "Oh, I must start first of January. I'm waiting for first of January." Waiting happen to tomorrow morning. Why don't you start tomorrow morning so you can give yourself enough time to even start fading ahead, right? So execution, you have to be very dogged with it. You have to be very dogged. No grief for anybody. You don't have to wait for some kind of approval. Give yourself the permission to execute like a boss, right? Launch things, put them out there, try, taste and learn. Taste and learn. Would it work? Would it not work? Nobody knows. Just put it out there. Then we'll find out if it works. If it doesn't work, okay, cool. On to the next. Because for a lot of people, you're still trying to even figure out what that signature offer is going to be, what that particular thing that will push you even higher is going to be. And you just never know until you put it out there. Put it out there, execute, just launch, just create, just put things out there. You know way too much and you're holding so much inside of you. Put things out there and push them. Don't put them out there and expect people to come to them. Put things out there and push them. If you must advertise them, spend the money, advertise them. And is that where you get to learn faster? Right? So, where did we start from? Make sure that your goals, your visions, whatever you call them, are a very fine balance of ambition and reality. Next thing, please remember that wealth building is subject to principles. So you must first check the vehicle. What I'm selling, can it really earn me 10 million this year? Can I really sell my artwork by standing on the Oshodi Bridge and make 50 million this 2024? Is it really possible? Has somebody done it before? Or I should sell this thing online in a more creative manner? See, that's how to think about it. So check your vehicles. Who's doing what I'm doing? Who's achieved this practical goal of mine? How did they do it? What vehicle? How did they structure it? Oh, did they hire somebody? Did they not hire somebody? Did they work alone? What software did they use? How did they combine? What offers did they use? analyze those things, and probe your own vehicle. Probe your own vehicle and make sure it's the right one. Okay, then execute, launch things, try things out there, and push them. Don't wait for people to come. I have 5,000 followers on Facebook. They will, let me just post, they will come. Push it. Carry your market on your head. If you could achieve all you achieved in 2023 with the kind of push and effort and drive you put in, imagine putting in even more what 2024 will be like, right? So guys, I hope with those 3 points of mine, it has been insightful, it has been knowledgeable, it has been practicable, and you are off to the races for 2024. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for joining. It has been a pleasure serving you today. And until I come your way next time, it's been fun. Mr. Gift, thank you so much for the opportunity, my man.
Did you see what I was trying to talk about initially? I mean, I was here just looking, and I've not seen him communicate this particular point communicated today. I think is a fresh thing and quite insightful. Like, I was expecting him to talk about something different, but this is a secret that he has used to build his business, and he's just giving it away to you for free. I mean, all the structures that he has outlined that you need to put in place for you to be able to, scale the values that you want to give. And this is fantastic. Thank you so much, UK. We don't want to take you so much away from your time. So please, guys, if you have a question now, I'm going to play a video now, and then we're going to take questions just for 5 minutes, and then we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to play the video now, and then we'll take the questions, and then we'll wrap up this section. So I want you to, right now, if you're listening, I want you to put your questions in the comment. If you have a question regarding how you can scale your business globally. There was mentioned that you've never made a certain amount of money for someone, and you're thinking that 2024 is going to be your year where you wake up and this money you are able to just make it like with a snap of a finger. It's like that, right? And this is something that is just the truth. So guys, if you have any question on how you can do what you are intending to do with your life, with your business, with your ideas, I want you to put it in the comment. We're going to be taking questions in 5 minutes after this video, but I want you to just pay attention to this video, and then maybe you can ask a few questions on how you can actually put up structures in your business to be able to sell globally. If that's what you're looking to do, that should be what you're looking to do in 2024. So maybe you have questions around that area. We're going to give you 5 minutes to ask that question after this video.
In a world where borders once divided us, there emerged a vision of borderless opportunities for businesses like yours. At Go Nomad, we embraced that vision and transformed it into reality. We believe that every business should have the chance to thrive on the global stage, breaking barriers and transcending borders. Just like a nomad, we accompany you on your journey of growth, traversing through new territories, exploring untapped markets, and connecting you with like-minded entrepreneurs across the globe. With Go Nomad, you can start and manage a company globally, transact globally with global banking and invoicing tools, migrate and expand your business around the world, and grow with exclusive opportunities. We don't just offer services, we build partnerships. Our experienced team becomes an extension of yours, providing personalized solutions that cater to your unique aspirations. What sets Go Nomad apart is a dedication to innovation, expert guidance, and a thriving community of visionaries like you. Together, we redefine what is possible. But don't just take our word for it. Hear from some of our delighted clients who experienced the Go Nomad advantage firsthand.
So I would say that for people who are back in the third world countries, exporting their services. Leverage a platform like Go Nomad. Go Nomad has a service that helps you receive money from abroad, right? Even if you don't have your registered business yet, they have a platform where you can receive money from abroad, because I think that's one of the major.
Now is the time to seize the limitless opportunities that await you. Join Go Nomad today and let's embark on a journey of endless growth together. Visit www.gonomadhq.com and together we will script success stories that transcend borders and redefine the possibilities of your business.
Awesome.
We already have one question here, but before we take the question, I just want to mention that the video we just played is the video for Go Nomad. Go Nomad is a company I work with. And one of the things we do is we help entrepreneurs, people who are looking to scaling their business globally. So you want to get your product on Amazon, you want to get your product on Shopify, you want to be able to sell and this dollar you have been hearing. Mr. Okay, when he was saying 5 million, he's not saying 5 million naira. So for those of us who were here, he's not talking naira, he's talking dollars, because this is something he has handled, he has seen, right? So if you're looking to actually earning in dollars, it's not your GT bank account you'll be putting them, right? There are structures that you need to put in place to be able to collect payment from international market, to be able to actually sell on international platforms. And so this is what Go Nomad does. This is what we do. So we help you to be able to register your business abroad. The US, your business can travel before you. I know some of you don't have passports, right? You've never traveled, but your business can travel before you. You sell to people in the US, sell to people in the UK, Singapore, whatever country you're looking to sell in your products in. And then you can easily, at the comfort of your home in Abeokuta, in Enugu, in Imo State, collect payment from people in Obodo Yibo. Very simple. All you just need is your US bank account, international bank account, to be able to do all of that. So this is what Go Nomad does for businesses. Right now, 2024 is not the year where you should be thinking of playing locally, right? One of the things Suke mentioned was that you set out a certain amount of money that you can invest in running publicity for your business. So right now, what you should be thinking is how people all over the world, a couple of days ago, I was sharing with someone that if you have 10 people in Nigeria that find your product valuable, it's just an indication that there are hundreds of people somewhere in the world that will still find that product valuable. But the problem is you've not been able to put your product in front of these people. But you can wake up and put your product in front of these people, and okay, what happens if they say, okay, someone from the Philippines say, oh, Amarachi, I've seen your product, I want to buy from Philippines. Can you send me your account number? You're saying, okay, how do I do it? Who has US account? All confusion because there's no structure in place. So Go Nomad will help you to put that structure in place to be able to sell globally. So that's is a summary of everything. He didn't go into all of that because it's not yet to sell anything to you, right? But I will do that, right? So that is what Go Nomad does. So if you are interested in that, what you need to do right now is to visit gonomadhq.com. I'll put it in the community. Like I said, all the links, all the resources, I'll put it there. And then if it's something you're looking to do, you should save up money to do that. It's a step you need to take in 2024 to be able to scale your business globally and to be able, so that when people are even saying that, okay, last month we did $5,000 and you are saying, well, might not do $5,000, but at least we've done $100 and you have somewhere you can put that money, right? So your business should be looking to expanding globally in 2024. So, right, we have a question here. I'm going to pull that up here. So he said, this is a question from Simon Room King. So he said, what would you say is the first step to create a team? And for someone new to this advice, can you give? Okay, well, please next time you put in a question, please just check it out so you type it out well. So, but the bottom line is, what advice would you give to someone who wants to create a team, manage a team properly, and has never done it before? So that's the first question. We have another question, but I'll just let you take this first.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. You've been really, really amazing today. Yes. So to this question from Simeon, um, first thing here I'm going to ask is, why do you need a team? Are you at the point where you need a team? Have you carefully analyzed that? Um, is there really more work that a team can enable you or help you deliver? Right? Are you at that point? Because it's a very important question. It's not because I'm saying you need a team at some point that you think it has to be done immediately, right? So if you're sure you're at the point where you want to create a team, right, then your first step is to carefully outline what that team would be doing, right? How would that team? What's the team composition going to be? Is it one person? Is it two people? What would the two people be doing on a daily basis, right? So you need to carefully outline that. You need to outline what exactly you need help with from a team. Once you've got that on lock, then you can put out a call within your network to begin to scout for people to fill those positions, right? But the first thing is to outline properly what exactly is that area where I need a team member, right? And how many would I need? What would they be doing? Until you have that locked down, then you don't have a path to get a team yet. So once you figure that part out, then you can get a team. So that's the first step. The first step is to figure out what exactly you need help with, and is it how frequent do you need that help, right? Then that will validate the reason to go set up one. Okay, and then in managing the team, you need to be an open book as much as possible. So you need to be available to support, right? And you also need to be able to trust that team completely to deliver. Because what's the essence of bringing people that you don't trust, right? So you need to be available to support, and you need to trust them completely, and you need to have accountability in place. We don't like, nobody wants to work really. If you had the opportunity, you would not work. If you had the opportunity to just earn without working, you would take it in a heartbeat. Who doesn't just want to sleep and be lazy all day and just like, you know, watch TV and play games and whatnot? Trust me, if I made you that offer and say, hey, here's $1 million a month or $1 million a month, do nothing, just chill, you take it. Whether you believe me or not, you take it, right? So you need accountability, you need a way to support your team, and you need to be able to trust your team. Those are three things that I know that help very well. Hope that answers the question.
Okay. This one is not a question, but it says, man, you were so audacious. I really like everything you're saying. It's so amazing. Actually, I'm meeting you for the first time, and
Oh wow!
I told you guys before we started.
Thank you
I
so
told
much.
you. I told you. I told you. All right. So we have another question. It says, yeah, this is on career switch. It said, my question is, what must be the steps that anyone who wants to switch career must consider?
Okay, great question, Macbeth, and thank you so much for the kind words. I'd say that if one of the first things that you want to consider is what's required in this new career, right? So what are the certifications that are required in this career that you want to switch to? How do I validate my skills, or how does anybody validate my skills, right? So do I need a 3 month certification in something else, a 6 month certification? You know, how do I get certified in that skill set? Okay, how do I pick up that skill set so that you're not just envying or admiring a particular career, and you think, oh, it's so cool, you want that for yourself, but you have to get into the practical zone. So the practical zone is, for me to make that switch, how do I get recognized in that world too? And one of the good ways to do that is via certification. So most industries have certifications that anybody can take, regardless of your background, to be able to get into that space, right? So that's one thing that would enable you. And of course, when you get certifications in a new career path, it opens you up to a new network as well within that career path that can connect you to opportunities. So it's important to consider that as you go along. Okay, I hope that helps. I think there's another question as well. Yeah, from Emmanuel. Okay, how can one who has no idea of how to earn dollar go about in 2024? Okay, so if you have no idea about what it means to earn in dollars, I would say that you're wrong. You have an idea. Why? How do you earn in naira? You get someone who has naira to pay you. Pretty simple, right? You get a Nigerian or somebody who has naira to pay you. So how do you earn in dollars? Same thing. You get somebody who is based in the United States of America to pay you, or somebody who has dollars to pay you. One of the same. So yes, everybody has an idea of how to earn in dollars. They just are not in the vehicles that allow for earning in USD. So it's two separate conversations. Everybody has an idea. If you can sell pepper or pitch your startup for 10 million naira or sell pepper for 5,000 naira, trust me, you can sell pepper for $50 or pitch your startup for $50,000, right? The question now is, are you promoting or marketing your business or idea to people who have dollars? Because it's people who have dollars that will pay you dollars, right? And where do you find such people? Outside the shores of your locality, especially when you are not domiciled in an environment that uses the dollar as a medium of payment. We don't use the dollar as a medium of payment in Nigeria, last I checked. So how then do you attract customers, clientele from dollar paying regions of the world? That's the real question now. And that's where your eyes need to go. So people that earn in dollars, how do they market that attracts the foreign customer to pay them? You see? So it's not how can you earn in dollars? You know how. And I'm sure what you're selling is being bought in those regions too. So the question is more, how do people who sell what I sell and earn in dollars market to dollar paying clients or customers? You see, so I've reframed it. I'm sure you can find your answer, because now it's now a marketing play. Okay, so it's not how can you do it. It's okay, how do I brand that would attract a foreign customer? How would I put up my ads that would attract a foreign customer? Right? How would my funnel, my sales funnel be? What would my offer sound like? What would my offer components be like that would attract a foreign customer? Okay, so those are what you need to look at. It's more about your marketing. Where and how are you marketing, and less of how do you earn? Because how do you earn is vague. You earn by selling a product or a service or working a job, right? So whether you want to work a job, a remote job, or sell a product or sell a service, it's the same thing. How do you do that to that market that pays in that currency, right? What are the marketing channels? How is the offer structured? Where do I go and find remote jobs that pay in USD internationally? What are the platforms? And then you begin to Google that specifically. So you don't go to Google to say, how do I earn in dollars? It's generic. It's how do I get remote jobs in tech, in data analytics, in digital marketing, in XYZ from wherever I'm at, right? How do I get USD paying jobs, remote job, da 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 da? How do I structure a digital marketing offer for Canadian businesses, for Australian businesses? You see, so you begin to get tunnel visioned, right? So that's how you attack that criterion, really.